evening, my friends, my family, my followers, my fans, my strangers. It is September 15th, 2015. It is 9:18 p.m. This is the latest I've ever recorded one of my videos. But this is Mommy of Two, Wife of One. And this week's topic is all about date night. One of my mommy friends who is married, she's been married now for, I want to say, over 20 years. And one thing she told me is that she continues to date her husband and often refers to her husband as her boyfriend. And I think it brings to mind that when you first date someone and they're your boyfriend or your girlfriend, everything just feels new to you. And it's exciting, and you're excited to get all dressed up and go out and do something, excited to be on the arm of this person, holding their hand, having their arm around you, or whatever the case may be. And it's a great, exciting feeling. You get butterflies when you see their number pop up on your phone. And, I think the point of her continuously calling him her boyfriend and saying, I'm dating, my husband or dating my boyfriend, is to make sure that that thrill you get in the beginning of your relationship, you're able to sustain that thrill throughout your relationship. Because once you don't get excited to see their name anymore, and once you get to the point where you're not really pressed to go out with them anymore, that's a problem. If you make that step to marry somebody, they are supposed to be the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. And who wants to spend the rest of their life with someone that you don't even want to leave the house with? So I'm a huge proponent of date night. Some people are able to have a date night once a week or several times a week. It's not as easy for me personally, I'll just speak for myself. But I make it a point to have a date night at least once a month with my husband. Date night for me means we don't have the children with us. We do not talk about the kids for the date. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. Most of the time for he and I, it's going to the movies, it's going to dinner. Occasionally, if both of the kids are out of the house for the night, we'll have an in-home date night where we just spend time with each other. Because even though we live together, we don't spend time with each other that often. My husband, heavily into sports. A lot of times he's in one room watching sports, and now it's football season. He's on fantasy football stuff. I'm in another room either doing stuff with the kids, or I'm doing my blog, or I'm writing my blog, or I'm doing something else. So even when we're in the house together, we're not necessarily glued at the hip. So when we do have the kids out, sometimes it's nice just to be in the same room with my husband, maybe watch a movie, play some cards because we like to play cards together, and just be with each other. And the date night doesn't have to be the stereotypical date night that you may remember from high school. When I was in high school, my idea of a date night was what I saw on TV. So I imagined getting all dressed up, having someone come to the door with flowers from me and flowers from my mother. They would pick me up, they would open the door for me, take me to a nice restaurant. They would hold the chair out for me when I sat down. After the restaurant, after we ate, nice compliments and nice conversation throughout dinner, maybe go to the movies where we would hold hands, share some popcorn. He would drop me off, walk me to the door, kiss me on my cheek, and that would be the date. I had this wonderful imagination when I was younger of what I thought life would be like when I got older. Date nights now, a lot of them don't end up that way, which is fine. But the point of date night, again, is just to spend time with your significant other. It doesn't have to be romantic. It doesn't have to be spending a lot of money. It doesn't have to involve food. It helps if it involves food, but it doesn't have to. For an example, one of the date nights I had with my husband recently, we went to see Straight Outta Compton. Now, for you guys who have seen the movie or have heard things about the movie, you know this movie is not romantic. There is no one love story in it. It's not necessarily what someone would think about when they think of a date night. But even though, the movie had a lot of cursing in it, had a lot of nudity, all that stuff, it was still me and my husband going out by ourselves. The children were not with us. We didn't discuss them the whole time we were out. I got to spend some time, quality time with my husband, snuggled up next to him in the movie theater, holding his hand, holding his arm or whatever. And it was just us. And I liked it, and it was wonderful and amazing. And that's all I needed. So date night doesn't have to be anything extravagant, but you should have date night. And for me, because my schedule is busy, because my husband's schedule is busy, I have to purposely schedule date night and put it on my calendar. I have gone to opentable.com, which I love using to make reservations, and October, November, December, I picked a random Saturday all those months, and I've made a dinner reservation for myself and my husband for a new restaurant neither one of us have ever been to. And some people say, why are you doing so far in advance and blah, blah, blah. If I don't put it on the calendar now, then the whole month may go by and I'll look up and realize I did not have a date night with my husband. It's really, really important to me to have that time with him. And that's a lesson I learned even before we got married, that I want to spend time with him. And you would think, when you're dating, you're going out all the time. It doesn't always happen. Again, sometimes you're busy with life. Sometimes, you got money issues or whatever. Things come up. But even if you're busy and you can't physically leave the house or you can't afford to leave the house, I said just stay in. It's okay to stay in, play movies, watch a movie, play some games, just have a discussion. Whatever you and your partner enjoy, whatever makes you both happy, and whatever's going to give you an excuse to be with each other and just celebrate each other and continue to nurture your relationship. Your relationship, no matter how long you've been with a person, needs to be nurtured. It needs to be, you have to continuously pour into it to make it stronger and make it better, so that the strength of your relationship that you have today continues to grow, because you can't rely on the strength you have today to carry you on into the next year, next decade, next 25, 30 years. It's not the way life works. You have to continuously make your relationship stronger. You have to continuously love on your spouse, love on your boyfriend, and the main way to do that is by taking the time to spend time with that person. So this is Mommy of Two, Wife of One. There'll be an extended version of my blog, my written blog. There'll be an extended version of this video. So check it out if you get a chance. I'm signing out, and I will see you all next week.